Hello everyone, apa khabar? So far, in all of our videos, for the first and second person, we use mainly saya and awak for reference of I and you. But in reality, in Malay, there are lots of other pronouns being used. So it is different based on customs, protocols, regional dialects, and also it depends on who are the people involved in the conversation. So this time around, we'll look at usage of several other pronouns besides saya and awak, and situations where they can be used in replacement of saya and awak. Specifically, we'll look at aku, engkau, kau, anda, and kamu in this video. The usage of saya and awak is when speaking in general. So it can be used at any time with just about anyone. But especially saya can be used broadly. So there are no worries about being disrespectful or rude when using saya. But awak may have limitations. So we'll look at this shortly. Moving on to aku, engkau, or kau. So these are used when speaking to those who are more familiar to us or close to us. For example, it can be amongst very close buddies or friends, and sometimes among siblings even. So usage of aku and kau are in situations where it's okay to be loose in politeness because we're comfortable with the other person. Besides that, it is used to show authority over someone. For example, bosses to employees. So from someone from a high authority to someone considered to be of a low ranking, but it's not to be used the other way around from someone lower to higher. It's also common amongst people from an older generation when speaking to a younger person. But again, it's not to be used the other way around. Someone younger would be considered to be rude if they use aku engkau with someone older. Because overall, the usage of aku kau is associated as being brash or impolite. So never use aku kau if respect or politeness is to be given to the other person. So for the purpose of this lesson, let's watch several videos or conversations that use other pronouns than saya awak. If the playback of the videos is too fast, I would recommend reducing the speed settings of this video.
Kau tahu tak, bagi aku, Kak Nat merupakan seorang yang paling terbaik sekali untuk Abang Aidan.
So the conversation was between two friends, so that's why they are comfortable using aku kau. So what they are saying is, kau tahu tak, bagi aku, Kak Nap merupakan seorang yang paling terbaik sekali untuk Abang Aidan. So we'll try to make the English version for these videos as close to what is being said. So for this one, what they're saying is, do you know that for me, Kak Nap is the one person that is the most absolute best for Abang Aidan. So they are using kau and aku, but in situations where it would be a conversations between different people, we can swap kau with awak and aku with saya. Awak tahu tak, bagi saya, Kak Nap merupakan seorang yang paling terbaik sekali untuk Abang Aidan. So that gives the same exact meaning as the original version. So that's usage of aku, engkau, or kau. So for the pronoun you, there are other words in Malay that can be used. two other ones are anda and kamu. So it's easier for the pronoun I, the first person. Mainly it's saya or aku, but there are more pronouns to refer to the second person. Anda and kamu is considered to be more polite, so it's used in a more formal situation. So for example, it's used by teachers when talking to students, or used in notifications or advertisement materials, or on signboards, for example. Let's look at two separate videos, one for anda and one for kamu.
Kalau anda beli dekat luar, tak dapat harga serendah ini, tetapi di Go Shop dengan harga RM149 daripada harga asal yang bawah tu RM169, anda dapat 4 helai tudung.
Saya dah buat keputusan. Keputusan saya adalah saya nak panggil ibu bapa kamu bertiga datang sini dan nak cakap pada mereka yang saya nak buang kamu daripada sekolah ni.
Ha? Buang?
So the first video was a segment from a shopping channel. So they were selling headscarves or hijabs. What was said was, kalau anda beli dekat luar, tak dapat harga serendah ni. Tetapi di Go Shop dengan harga RM149 daripada harga asal yang bawah tu RM169, anda dapat 4 helai tudung. So that means if you buy elsewhere, you will not get a price as low as this, but at Go Shop, at the price of RM149, from the original price at the bottom there of RM169, you will get 4 pieces of headscarves. So for this, they are selling an item and they are addressing the public as anda. The second video was by a principal to students. Saya dah buat keputusan. Keputusan saya adalah saya nak panggil ibu bapa kamu bertiga datang sini dan nak cakap pada mereka yang saya nak buang kamu dari sekolah ini. So that means I have made my decision. My decision is I want to call your parents to come here and I want to tell them that I want to expel all of you from this school. So in this situation, she can use awak. There's no problem in using awak, but she chose to use kamu instead to emphasize that it is a serious situation. It's very formal and requires attention. So that's kamu and anda. We'll look at another video. This video is between a mother and a son.
Kita tak kena halau, Mak. Tanah kita tak ada geran. Lagipun diorang dah janji nak bayar duit berpasan kat kita. Salah kita. Sebab tak baca surat perjanjian tu dulu.
Habis tu sekarang ni kau nak salahkan aku ke? Ha? Kau nak salahkan mak ke? Kau ingat dengan duit RM10,000 tu sekarang ni boleh buat apa?
So I want to look at the second part of the dialogue that is by the mum. Habis tu sekarang ni kau nak salahkan aku ke? Kau nak salahkan mak ke? Kau ingat dengan duit RM10,000 tu sekarang ni boleh buat apa? So that means, so now you want to blame me? You want to blame me? What do you think we can do with the 10,000 money? So the currency wasn't mentioned here, so we assume it is in ringgit. So it should be 10,000 ringgit in cash. So the emphasis is the mum was speaking to the child using aku kau, but she also referred to herself as mak, which means mum in Malay. And that's very common to refer to the person or yourself in a third person basis using a title. It's like saying in English, you want to blame mum in replacement of saying you want to blame me. And using a title is very common. We've tried to address this in one of our previous video using examples of pakcik and makcik or kakak or abang. So another video, this involves 3 people.
Yelah, saya nak tahu awak pergi mana, awak buat apa?
Tak ada apa-apa. Cikgu balik je lah.
Maksudnya awak pun kena balik tau. Sampai bila awak nak buat macam ni, Dinesh? Ponteng sekolah semua. Bila nak berubah?
Dinesh, cepat sikit. Kau dah lambat ni.
Ya, bos. Saya datang sekarang.
Awak kerja sini ke? Awak mana boleh kerja? Awak kan sekolah lagi.
So the dialogue was between Dinesh and his teacher and also his boss. So the teacher referred to Dinesh as awak, but the boss referred to him as kau. So, yalah, saya nak tahu awak pergi mana, awak buat apa. So that was said by the teacher, which means, yeah, I want to know where you go and what you do. But the boss refers to Dinesh as kau. Dinesh, cepat sikit, kau dah lambat ni. Which means, Dinesh, quick, you are already late. So there may be reasons why the boss was using kau and aku with Dinesh. It may be because he might consider Dinesh close to him. So that's one reason. Another reason might be he wants to show authority to Dinesh. That is most likely. The teacher instead uses awak, which suits the relationship between a student and a teacher. But Dinesh himself refers to the teacher as cikgu. Tak ada apa-apa, cikgu balik je lah. Which means, there's nothing, you just go home. So he is not referring the teacher as awak because that's considered to be rude. So instead, he is calling the teacher and referring to her as cikgu. So one last video. Let's consider this to be a bonus one.
Johan, kenapa you dah lama tak call I? Kan handphone dah bagi kat you.
Ada masalah sikit.
You ada masalah apa, Johan? Cuba you cakap dengan I boleh tolong you.
Tak apalah, Sally. Ini masalah I.
So this dialogue uses I and you. So it does not use saya, awak or aku, engkau, but both of them uses I and you to refer to each other. So they can actually use aku, engkau in this situation, but the risk is they may sound rude to each other. So in a way, the usage of I and you between people can be considered a safe move. It's considered to be friendly. So it can be used between friends, between colleagues, couples, for example. And some people consider it to be, because there are too many pronouns in Malay, there might be difficulties in choosing which would be suitable with certain people. So using I and you is considered to be appropriate in those situations. So next time, if you don't hear someone use saya awak in conversations, don't be surprised. Hopefully this video has helped out a bit.